Hey, what's up guys, with our True Good Development Video Reviews Edition. In these videos, I review tools and equipment that I use whether on rehab jobs or on my own property. And in this video, I'm reviewing the Harbor Freight 10 cubic feet mower cart. So let's get right to it. Okay guys, first thing, I'm going to talk about assembly, then we're going to talk about quality, and then we're going to talk about performance. Okay guys, let's talk about assembly. This thing took me about an hour and a half to assemble. Instructions are actually not bad at all. They could use some improvement. Here's the reason why it takes that long. Guys, be prepared. This has 68 bolts that you're gonna have to screw. We're not just talking about bolts here. There's washers, lock washers, and nuts for 68 bolts. So even if you're the best handy person out there, if it takes a minute for each bolt, that's over an hour. But let's say it takes 30 seconds for each bolt. You're still looking at about 40 minutes. That's just screwing in bolts. Now you're gonna have to put the pieces together, go back and forth between the instructions and your work to make sure everything is solid. So again, hour and a half is very realistic. Number two, quality. Guys, this thing retails at $1.30. Now, Harbor Freight always has coupons, discounts. For this, I got a 25% coupon. So really, this was a $98 purchase, and I don't think you can beat it. Here's why. The walls of the cart are made of a decent grade sheet metal. I'm gonna say you're looking at about 1/16. Okay, so again, can that be improved? Yes, but honestly, think about it. This is really just holding what you have in the cart. Now, if you're gonna go off-roading with this thing, then yes, this is probably not the cart for you. This is not a cart where you're gonna bang things against the wall that will bend it. However, if you're using it just to haul things around the yard, then that's perfect, including dirt and rocks. On to the hitch. Guys, this is really heavy-duty stuff. I like the bolts, I like the pin, the R pin, which is underneath here. There's another one that goes right in there. Great quality. The A-frame itself, higher gauge metal, so this is about 1/4 inch. It also comes with the corner guards. Again, this is made of again, probably about 1/16, but again, protecting the kiddos. You got one here, one there, and you also got corner supports, so again, to make it sturdier. And here's that corner brace again. Now, the bottom of this is made of the same sheet metal. So now you might be asking, well, hold on a second, that's not too great. I agree with you. However, again, you're just putting things on here. Think of this as a big box. Also, you might want to consider putting in decking or some protective base, because the base of this cart will get beat up. Any cart, no matter what. The paint is going to chip. You're going to use shovels on this thing to get things in and out of it. So I highly recommend get some deckings. If you don't have any decking wood, guys, you can go to Google fencing place that's near you. Chances are they have old decking and old wood that they're disposing of, or go on Facebook and see if anybody's doing a decking job, and you could come out and grab a couple of pieces and chop them up. You will be glad you did that. Lastly, let's talk about these wheels. I mean, look at this thing. These are 13 inch. I believe they're about 13 inch. These are tubed tires, so just be careful. Again, if you're off-roading with this thing, you got to get yourself an ATV and not a cart. But this is perfect for yard work. The quality is not bad at all. Comes with the pins and the washers, so it's really easy to replace if anything happens to this wheel. It recommends that you keep it at 30 PSI, and it does say on it that the load should be 450 pounds, which is kind of odd because this thing is rated for 600 pounds. But we'll let that go. Now, the other great thing about this, it does come with a tilt latch, which is great. So all you got to do is pull this guy back and lift. Oh, there you go. Which brings me to something that I kind of do not like about this cart, and that's probably the only thing, is the axle support frames. The A-frame are also made of that thin sheet metal. On the face of it, that's not too bad because the tires are really supporting or supporting the load in this cart. However, if one of those tires give way, then you can kiss the A-frame goodbye, because this will not hold the weight. So this is my only gripe with this thing. The other thing is, it's not really a bad thing, it's just kind of a recommendation or a tip. Do not try to lift or maneuver the bed when you're tilting it over through this support frame here, because as you can see, it does move around quite a bit. To bring the cart back down, you just grab it and put it back into place by pulling the latch and making sure that this A-frame fits in this pin, and that's where the R pin is going to go. Number 3, performance. Well, it's not too shabby at all. I've been hauling a lot of dirt with this thing. It's heavy loads. I think the tires are clutch. When you're moving it around and you're backing into position, it rotates all the way over. You have a tailgate that lifts easily and drops back in position. Mine is actually pretty dirty. The channels are pretty dirty. I gotta clean it up. So guys, the only 2 things that I would probably recommend and then I might do on mine is, 1, I'm probably gonna add a pull bar or a rope of some sort, so I can pull this without having to bend down, without having to use my fingers, just in case. Now it's pretty safe. I mean, you know, I don't think anything will happen to your fingers, but instead of bending down or whatnot, it's probably easier just to pull something and to unhook this latch. Number 2, which is really annoying, is there is no handle anywhere here that you can kind of pull up and tilt this bed. So try doing this when there is 400 pounds of weight on this thing, which I've been doing, and that is a problem, because then what you're going to have to do is, with one hand you're going to have to pull this back, and with the other hand lift this thing up. Now this is really sharp here, so it's not ideal. So what I've been doing is, you guessed it, grabbing onto this, not pulling it in either way, but just kind of lifting on it. Not ideal, and I do not recommend it, and I'm probably gonna have to figure something out for me, because again, you don't want to keep moving this. It will get out of place and eventually it will create a problem for you. All right guys, so my score for this thing would probably be 8 out of 10, and the only reason I knocked the 2 points is with the quirks that I mentioned. But overall, it's a good quality cart for the price that you're paying. $130, even without discounts, at $130, it will pay for itself. But you'll probably get a discount, or even wait for discounts. Get this thing at $100. You can't beat it. I did think that, hey, well, maybe I could make my own, but I quickly priced myself out after pricing metal, welding, painting, tires, everything else. So you get the picture. Guys, I hope you liked the video. Give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. I'll see you guys on the next one.